Welcome back, everybody. Funnily enough, our first match versus Cherry was actually a forfeit win for Fuel, so we're already into our second scheduled game. It's Fuel versus Lubbock, a very, very strong school, but McLean comes out of the woodworks and comes out firing on all cylinders as he takes this first goal off of a nice play. Reeker controlling Nisarium and just gets it past the defender there as Fuel take a 1-0 lead against Lubbock here. And this is not a team we played with. We're hearing very, very high placing, high seeded in this tourney, so it's going to be a close series, but Fuel, they're always willing to punch up.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the one thing that I notice about Fuel a lot is they come out of the gate swinging a ton of the time, and then, game 2, game 3 even, they kind of start to slow down because their opponent starts getting used to their tactics and whatnot. So if you're Fuel, get as many goals as you can right away, try to maintain this lead, keep it as early as you can, and then just go from there. And that's really what we're already seeing to begin with, right? And oh my goodness, the second goal.
Nice passing play, but Reeker just a little second too late. Peepaw flips off the wall and gets a little bit of control of this ball as it heads towards the corner. Now Reeker looking to center this up, but no member is going to be there. It's McLean who now goes up. Process, though, in the way as he starts to get this clear out. Yeah, Fuel, they need to get a lot of goals quickly if they want to. They're going to need, right, because of how we've seen Fuel play a lot of the time where they, almost always come back. So, was that a musty?
Yeah, it's a musty,
right?
Musty flick,
nice
yeah.
Little musty there. I saw, we see them from time to time for sure. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to get this first game because this is a best of 3. Fuel, they always come out swinging, but they kind of struggle a little bit later into the series for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know if you have you commentated any of the newer games in the past maybe month?
Yeah, I've been casting a lot of
Rocket League. Yeah, right. Because you've seen how they now have the animation for the flip resets, which I find is. Oh, you haven't noticed that?
I did not pay attention to that, but that is pretty cool.
Yeah, so you'll see when they successfully get a flip reset. I was talking to this to Dragon. You'll see the bottom of their card flash up for a little bit of white. So it gives an indicator to the defense that they now have this jump. It makes it easier for the defense and a little bit for yourself, but it's more for that defensive aspect to make it easier to be able to read between a fake and a flip reset. Yeah, but with that being said, you can then use it as a decoy because now they know that you have a flip. They're like, oh, okay, he's going to flip, and then you don't use it. Whereas before, they're like, did he get a flip? Did he not? I don't know. I'll play for both. So it's a bit more of a mind games, but you'll see that come out more. So I'm glad I brought it up. And any viewers watching at home that maybe play Rocket League but haven't played recently or don't play high enough that you see a ton of flip resets too often. Yeah. I mean, I've never done a flip reset. I got to be completely honest. So.
Shockingly, neither have I. Right? I know, big shocker there. If anyone knows the amount of time I played Rocket League. It wouldn't be. But you'll keep this 1-point lead, but they definitely want to get, that comfort goal for sure. They want to get that second. Oh, we have Rule 1 got broken. Almost a Rule 1 there, but not quite. The shot on net for the side of Lubbock gets a little bit dangerous there as Reeker now goes up. I see what you're talking about. That's a lot brighter than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
That's very, very noticeable. Okay. As now Beastie goes up. Nice pinch, though, off McLean, but Reeker not able to save that as Process, able to catch that off the ceiling play. This is Beastie and McLean, 50 just goes so well for Beastie, sets it right up to Process. Reeker unable to get up just a second too late, as it's now a tie game, 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining here. Kickoff coming out here. We'll see how they decide to play this one.
Yeah, I mean, that goal also just came down to, like you said, you mentioned it, 50. It was that second 50, that first one, your Peepaw completely missed it, unfortunately, leaving them in the 3v2. Then you miss a second 50. That's going to be a goal 9 times out of 10. Half of Rocket League is just winning your 50s or winning the right 50s at the right time. And, how do you say this name? I'm sorry. I heard you say it before, and I was like, I didn't know how to say it.
I misread it. Sorry. Nisarium, Nisarium, I believe would be how you'd read that one.
Oh, okay.
As speaking of, not Nisarium, Beastie's going to get it past Reeker there as Lubbock take the lead. With 1 minute and 8 seconds remaining, a quick one there for them as we had quite a long dry spell, right? We scored within that first, 30 seconds. Then we had a bit of a stretch. Then another, after that goal, 30 seconds later, Lubbock gets another. McLean, a nice setup off that backboard, but just no member of Fuel is able to capitalize on that one. Peepaw goes up here and catches that one, but Process is going to be able to catch the rebound. Now McLean for a double touch there, but it's just going to be a ground ball that Beastie will be able to pick up. He goes the way of Beastie as that ball is heading towards the post. Process redirects it. Reeker off the backboard, but he did not get the touch he wanted.
Yeah, I mean, luckily when you make very uncommon mistakes, your opponents aren't really ready for it. You saw a Reeker mess up there, very uncommon, but the team wasn't expecting it, right? They didn't think anything was going to happen. So luckily Fuel gets out of there unscathed, but they still need to find a goal in the last 20 seconds. And it doesn't seem like they've even really got a clean shot off in the last 2-ish minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, it feels like after that first goal, it's been Lubbock through and through with the full control of this game, as this will probably be their last attempt. Now McLean gets that flip reset. He's looking to drive it through, but a nice stop from the side of Lubbock means that this is going to be the last attempt. They're not able to get to it as Fuel fall. Game 1, 2-1 to Lubbock. They're on the back foot there now. Now they're on death's door, and they have to make a reverse sweep.
Yes, they do. Luckily, as you said before, they just need to win 2, right? A reverse sweep from other series might be super daunting. But, you know, just winning 2 games, not too bad. You start with the 1. But, I mean, it's exactly like we talked about, right? They come out of the gates, they get a goal, they play very consistent back and forth, and then their cracks start to show, and by the end of the game, Fuel's down.
Yeah, right.
It always seems to happen. They come out guns a-blazing, and then their strategies kind of get voided out, right?
It almost feels like, you know, a lot of the time, Fuel, they have really clear strategies for those first 2 minutes of the game, but then afterwards, it starts to be a bit more improvisation-based. And that's when a team that has played together for a longer time than Fuel, their synergy really starts to shine through, and it really starts to, you know, overplace the level that Fuel can play, and you know, that those pre-defined tactics, as they're gonna have to try to make some sort of synergy plays here. A nice demo from McLean sets up something for Reeker, but he can't get it past Beastie there, who now goes up. Peepaw misses out on that, and that might just be an open net. The 50 goes the way of either side. Should be an even 50 there, as Nasirium now has to be the one to catch this. Fuel get it out of the danger zone.
Yeah, and honestly, though, they're, right, like, Fuel got it out of their end, but they're giving up possession again to Lubbock, and they just get to come back with a full tank of boost and then get to go on a brand new attack. And you can see right now they're still keeping this pressure up. Fuel hasn't really got it out of their end, or if they do, they haven't been able to control it, and an open backboard is going to be a goal every single time.
Right? We always talk about that,
Broken
right?
record, but it's
the
common.
Moment a back boat. Little party was destroyed. I love, as much as, you know, we don't love the errors, right, and the technical problems.
Yep.
The fact that it's just destroyed is the funniest thing in the world to me. I think we may have just lost our overlay, but I think the game is still going on. We'll see if we can try to fix this. We do seem to be back, as we'll be heading back into this one. Lubbock strike first yet again, as Fuel are struggling, right? Broken record, we say it every time. Backboard defense, right? If a backboard is left open, it's going to be a goal. When the players are of this caliber, they're never going to, you know, squander on an open backboard attempt. Reeker does not end up getting that one past processes. Now McLean tries to get this through.
Yeah, I mean, you can see also, like you talked about, you know, Fuel intertwines this Peepaw and Ches, right? They kind of go back and forth on who is going to be playing, so kind of messing up their synergy a little bit, a little double flip reset, but not going to get anything going. But you can see Lubbock, when you watch them play, their rotations are flawless. There is multiple people ready for a ball at all times, but they're also ready to get back as well. Just watching how they play, I rarely see them overlap, or I rarely see them go for the same boost, the same ball, anything like that, where you see Fuel every now and then kind of just out of rotation slightly, right? A step too behind, or you're too close to one another. Right there, 2 people going for it. And as I talked about, it's that unpracticed, like you mentioned.
Something you're noticing as well is every time Fuel's on the attack, they've just run out of boost a little bit too early, right? Preemptively. It feels like Lubbock has kind of had a better boost control game so far. As you know, there you saw McLean have to go for a double flip reset because he couldn't get any of the boost, and that's just going to be a clean goal for Process there, as Fuel not able to get back in time. Reeker misses out on this contest. Process gets that second touch, and Peepaw just a little too slow for that one.
Again, that all started at the very beginning. Your Peepaw missing the 50, another 50 not going the side of Fuel, and then it's going to be an open goal. It's one thing to miss 150, but you can't completely whiff it, right? Your Peepaw has whiffed 2 in a row, and you know, you don't want to single anyone out. Obviously, it's tough, and you make mistakes. You have good days, you had bad days, but we've seen 2 complete whiffs, and then it's leaving your team in a 1v1. 2 bad 50s have gone for the side of Fuel, and now they're down 2-0. And it's not great to see. We need to be a bit more consistent when we're challenging. If we're going to challenge the ball, we're going to need to do it, and we're going to need to do it with some confirmation behind it, knowing I can at least touch it, right? You can't just give up fully. But Reeker is just trying to get a goal here by himself, and I feel like that's where Fuel is kind of losing here at the end. They get desperate, and you saw before when McLean, went for a double flip reset, no boost. If he's communicating with his team about, hey, I can get it to here, I need someone else to cover here, whatnot, I'm here, whatnot, but they're trying to do it by themselves because they feel cornered. And they're like, I can only trust myself right now. I can't trust my team.
That's the easiest way to explain it, right, is that Fuel, like that's exactly it, right? Whenever Fuel feels threatened, they fall back on their mechanical skill because they have some really talented players. McLean and Reeker are so good at this game. But really what strengthens them past a lot of these teams and what, made them find so much early success in this season was the amount of passing plays they were going for. The fact that they were able to, kind of work together as a team that felt like they had played together for so long, even though they had been brand new. But it feels like as more time has gone on, they've started to fall into more of these solo plays.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And you saw it. I mean, the only real attempts at goals have just been solo plays. I mean, I wouldn't even consider that, a real attempt, but it's just kind of one person going from full court or half court with a full tank of boost and just trying to show off the mechanic work, right? And it's never going to work out that way. All of these teams are far too good to be able to do it by yourself. And I think also the one thing that Fuel has kind of been missing right now is this mid control, like controlling during, like in the midfield. I mean, we play Smash. Controlling, controlling center stage, right?
Yeah,
playing
right.
for that, fighting for that. It's the exact same premise when it comes to Rocket League, especially in the air. And they're not really able to put up a fight there. They're kind of giving Lubbock almost most of that midfield, like the half field, right? They're giving it up, and then now they need to just play super solid defense. Like right here, they should be challenging that way earlier. You can't give them a passing play. Beastie barely misses it there.
It does feel like at this point Fuel have kind of not resigned, but
Yeah.
it does feel with how they're playing that this is almost just a done deal at this point. That Lubbock is just going to be taking this season or series, right? And it's just purely they're playing as a better team, right?
Yeah.
The individual skills, sure, we've seen a couple missed 50s here and there, but it really has been just the fact that Lubbock has been playing together. Fuel have been playing, not as much as a. It's almost like 3 players are playing solo here right now. Almost.
Yeah, I do. I definitely agree. And it's really tough to see because, honestly, when I tune into the Rocket League streams or when I'm commentating them, they are a fantastic team. They play so well together. But the past few games, like the last tournament I casted and this one, it just seems, like you said, 3 guys solo casting that happen to queue up together, right? And you can see a bit of chemistry peek out every now and then, but it needs to be consistent through the whole thing. This is a 5-minute game against a very good team, and you're playing a best 2 out of 3. You're going to start playing best 3 out of 5s, right? In that tournament that they went to that you mentioned, the land, right? They needed to play together as a team, right? I didn't tune into any of it, but I'm sure they played super well.
They
You
dropped,
gotta move.
I think, 1 goal total up until grand finals.
Exactly. Like, that is phenomenal. And it all comes down to teamwork and playing together as a team.
Yeah.
Having all that practice in that tournament, it needs to, convert over here. And unfortunately, it's just not. They're kind of losing it. Maybe it's not as much scrimming as they once did at the beginning. Maybe it's just, like we said, just switching out guys back and forth. So it's just, it's really tough. There's a multitude of things that it could be.
Yeah, and this is going to be, the highest level of competition they're going to be up against, right?
Yeah.
This is the CRL qualifiers. This is, they're trying to get to CRL. That's the real goal of our Rocket League team. They're so talented. They've made so many waves, right? They beat St. Clair, right? They got second at the LAN. They did really well in the first qualifier, but they just have not been able to find that magic since that qualifier, since beating St. Clair. It feels like right now a lot of the teams are just a little bit of a step above Fuel, but we'll see if they can make a lowers bracket run. We're not out of this yet.